He's just the store manager or some shit like that. They be in little chairs. Are you recording? You said yeah? Because if so, it's going to be like Patreon stuff. But yeah, um, I feel like this chair make me feel like I got something important to say. I do got muscles. They little, but I got them. Look. Look, I said it's little. I didn't say it was big. I didn't say I was motherfucking Popeye. For real, when? I'm gonna look that up. Like, I'm actually looking forward to going to the movies more. Cause like when before the pandemic started, um, I would always work from home. This was when I worked in corporate America. Some of y'all know this, some of y'all don't. But after undergrad, I went straight into like the corporate world, and I was doing PR. I was doing public relations for the Shed Aquarium, the Museum of Science and Industry. So I used to always get free tickets to the Museum of Science and Industry. I did some work for Adidas when Derrick Rose did like his shoe launch and shit like that. I staffed the press conference. That's how I ended up getting like an autograph D Rose shirt. And then like I started doing work for Aflac, Target, Mazda, like a whole bunch of big companies, and then eventually TransUnion. But long story short, I would work from home on a Friday so that I can go to the matinees around noon, because it used to be like $2 at this movie theater out west. So every Friday I would treat myself to the movies, and I would only go by myself because I don't be wanting people to talk to me during the movie. So yeah, and then the pandemic happened and all that shit went away. But I say that to say I like going to the movies. At one point, I thought I wanted to be a film critic. Yeah. So like when I first got to DePaul, I was an art major because I did art all throughout high school, painting real heavy. And so I had an art major. Then I was like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna make money like this, so let me switch my major. And I switched it to media and cinema studies. And then I started taking like film classes, like being a director of a film type shit. I took script writing, so I know how to write a script. And I also took like animation, and I made like a cartoon before. I made my own cartoon. um, but then I would take like Saturday classes with Marcus LaShock. He's a reporter for WGN. He was my film criticism teacher. So yeah, I used to go to the movies all the time, and then I'll write critiques. I feel like in another life, I would be a super cold like film critic, because I would still be myself and I would still talk Jody like, but it would be like criticize, criticize, criticize. I couldn't help but to all I hear is criticize, criticize, criticize. That movie was so fucking funny. But yeah, I would have been a film critic if I would have like stuck with that. That's crazy. I don't know if I would have. I probably eventually, like with the digital age and stuff like that, I would probably be one of them TikToker like movie critics or some shit like that. Like I would still be a movie critic, but it wouldn't be like the traditional way where like people go watch a movie and then it's in the newspaper. Like, and you know what's so fucking funny about that? Because of course I'm on the Never Ever Mess, right? And like every episode, even if I don't like verbally critique everything, my face just says criticize, criticize, criticize. I'm just looking at everybody crazy, and I make crazy faces already. But that shit is. Oh, tomorrow's the last episode. Tomorrow the season finale. I can't believe I was on TV. That's crazy. People still hitting me up about that. Oh man. I'm ready to get started with the episode. I got a new inside joke with Jeanette. So guys, Jeanette is my nail style, like she's my manicurist, my nail stylist or whatever. And she's an amazing friend. We went to high school together. So yeah, like y'all probably seen her at a couple different events. If you came to Orlando with us, you saw her out there in Orlando. But yeah, that's my nail tech, and I tell her all my dirty secrets. It be so funny when I go and get my nails done. And then she say all the time, like she tell other people, like if Jody is coming, like we gonna be there a while because she got some wild ass shit to say. Like I really keep her entertained. I'm quite entertaining. So yeah, but okay, I'm finna get into the episode for real. I'm high. I'm like so high. I'm like so high. Y'all know what's good that like I like. this episode is gonna be so fucking funny because I'm high. I ain't got high before an episode in a very long time. A very long time. And I'm looking forward to like rewatching this episode later because I feel like I'm gonna be quite entertained. But we gonna hop into today's episode, right? So I got a whole fashion. I ain't had a whole fashion in a couple of the last episodes because I've been kind of in my monologue bag, but I got a whole fashion for y'all. So I'll tell y'all kind of like the background. So first, I had posted on my story on Instagram. It was this post that I shared, and it said, "How would you feel if your current partner asked your ex for sexual advice on how to please you?" So I'm gonna say that one more time. How would you feel if your current partner asked your ex for sexual advice on how to please you? Now, me personally, I was like, that would be crazy as fuck to me because if my ex or the motherfucker I was fucking with before was like really pleasing me sexually, I probably wouldn't be fucking with the person I'm fucking with now because sex can keep me in a situation way longer than I be wanting to be in that situation. And that is how I know good sex has the potential to save relationships, marriages, all that shit, right? Because some good dick will keep me in a situation way longer than if I was not fucking this person. Or if I was fucking this person and it wasn't that good. If I'm fucking somebody and it's just like, okay, like this is cool, I'll do it again. Like if that's my response, then I'm probably, I'm not sticking around for long. Like, I don't think I like, I be needing good sex. So if I'm not getting good, great sex from somebody, then I gotta find somebody else to get that good, great sex from. So, and of course, like, I be fucking this shit out myself. Like, I have good, great masturbation sex. But I know me, and good sex will definitely keep me in a situation longer. So what I said was, that would be crazy to me because clearly the motherfucker wasn't better if I ain't with him. The men that I was actually in long-term relationships with, not even in my top 5. Matter of fact, not even top. No, right, I said top. No, I said they not in my top 3. Matter of fact, not top 5. So I really sat back and thought about like who my sex partners have been that are in like my top 3 and my top 5. Now the top 3 I know like off bat because they were all kind of like within the last 3 years type shit. But my top 5, I was like, ugh, damn. It's like it's tricky to extend it to 5 because I got like a strong 4, and then like the 5th one is like jabal. Like everyone else was just okay. Like I feel like certain people. This gonna sound bad, and it's not even because I've had sex with a lot of people. It's because the sexual experience was so mid, I will dead ass like run into somebody out in public, right? Oh, hey, how you doing? Whatever. And then go about my business. And then I wouldn't think about the fact that I fucked that person before until like, oh shit, I did fuck them. It would be like a situation like that. But again, it's not because like, oh, you just had sex with so many people that you don't remember. No, I actually be remembering like motherfuckers, but I feel like because the shit was so weak, I done buried it in the back of my fucking brain like an inside out emotion. Like they had spoiler alert, if you haven't went to go see Inside Out 2, which my overgrown ass did, they got this option where they could put a memory in the back of your head. So I feel like that's what happened with certain people. Like, especially like when I realized like I don't like them. Like, I feel like the same way men would be like, yeah, I've had sex with somebody I didn't technically like. I feel like I've had sex with somebody I've technically not liked. Because I told y'all about the petty situation before, right? Like, I fucked somebody just being petty. So, like, this girl, basically my first threesome. And I know I've told this story before, right? My first threesome that was super, like, ugh, right? So, the girl from that threesome, like, we were friends. We was kicking it. I thought we was going bowling. Like, that's where that bowling, reference comes from. We ends up at the London house, or no, was we? Yeah, we ended up at the fucking London house. End up having a threesome with these two motherfuckers. Okay, cool. All three Scorpios too. Like it was at that time I was just excited that I had a threesome. When I actually had another threesome, I was like, that shit was weak. So that situation, right? Now, fast forward to like the more recent situations. Like, I ran into the guy from that threesome situation out in public, and I like gave him a hug. But I genuinely was like, I had kind of buried that so far in the back of my head that I didn't think about the fact that I fucked you before until way after. Not like it's on, like if you see somebody and you remember the sex, you instantly like, oh, I fucked them, like almost damn near instantly. With him, I'm like, I kind of buried that in the back of my head. But I ended up fucking this man again, and I didn't really like him. Like, the only reason why I had sex with you the first time was a part of the threesome, which I was never there with you type shit. I was the third. And then I ended up fucking him because the girl from that threesome, again, the person that I used to be friends with, she hits me up. She texts me like, yo, is you fucking woo woo? And I'm like, excuse me, bitch? Like, did you really just come to me as a woman about a nigga? Like, I don't like that. First, don't ask me am I fucking this man. Because you over here like, oh, well, is you fucking him because why is y'all following each other on Instagram? And he said you adding him on stuff. First of all, I don't add people. I don't. No, I don't add people. I barely accept people's friend requests. I don't add people. Especially not niggas. Like, unless you on Facebook selling the best chicken fried rice in the city of Chicago, I'm not adding a nigga. I add like gay men and like chefs, people that cook, because I like to eat. So those are the type of people I follow or I add. But I'm not adding or following no nigga G. I'm not. Unless I already knew you. Like, I had to have already known you like pre-social media days. Like, my generation, my age range is the first people to not really always be like, we weren't born into the internet age type shit. That shit came where we remember a time where everybody didn't have computers, and motherfuckers was using, if they did have computers, they was using dial-ups. It wasn't no wireless internet and shit like that, right? So you fucking him, woo woo. And I'm like, girl, don't ever come to me as like about no nigga. Cause if you coming to me about a nigga, I feel like he not your nigga. And then I ended up like fucking him just because she came to me like that. Like, I had no desire to. I didn't like him, G. Like, when I tell y'all I didn't like the man, I really didn't like the man. And as I laid in the man's bed before it, I told him, I was like, I don't like you. And he thought I was like lying because he like, bitch, with you in my bed. And I was like, nah, I really don't like you, G. I didn't tell him that I was fucking him to be petty. Like I was giving him petty pussy. I just told him like, I don't like you. I forgot what he did or what he said, but I'm like, I genuinely don't like this nigga. Like, I was fucking this nigga. He had no intentions of anything outside of me just like, haha, you came to me as a woman, bitch. I'll show you. So yeah, that was that. I'm finna get back to the whole fashions segment. I'm finna get to that. So for today's whole fashion, like I said, I read y'all the part about like asking the past partner for sexual advice and how you would like feel about that, right? So I said that would be crazy because again, the person with the best sex probably has my attention for the longest. That sound fucked up, and I don't give a fuck. So she responded to that. So this is how today. So this is for the whole fashion. She said, I actually had this happen last night, and it was the single sexiest thing I've ever witnessed. I love watching them sit and converse about pleasing me. So I'm like, okay, cool. That's like a freaky, kinky way of, you know what I'm saying, like looking at it or whatever. Especially like if you're an exhibitionist and you kind of getting in that bag type shit. It definitely makes sense from that. And I was like, okay, tell me more. Because I'm like, shit, don't leave out a juicy detail. So then she proceeds and says, my ex came by and we were having a conversation where I revealed that I'm into MFM threesomes. See, I had a whole little threesome story. Imagine y'all, this is my first time reading it with y'all. I didn't even read this whole fashion. I just knew it was going to be good. So she says, he asked why he never knew that. And I said, because I didn't think he could handle it. I was already going to a play party last night with another guy, and the ex asked if he could come as well. The other guy agreed for last night to be a meet and greet and see what the chemistry would be like between the three of us. Upon arrival, we all sat down and talked. I struck up a conversation between the two of them to see where was there anything they wanted, needed to know about one another. Then I got up to go to the kitchen and they talked. My current guy asked my ex how he could please me, what I like, what's the best way to win me over. My ex told him treat me well, praise me a lot. Oh, y'all. I don't know. Is this a Scorpio thing? Because, baby, when I have a terrible praise kink. Like, it's bad, y'all. Like, it is bad. Okay. So, she says, okay. Treat me well, praise me a lot, and pay close attention to my body because my body will always tell you if you're doing it right. The entire conversation was about pleasing me, and the way they were both looking at me as they talked to one another was so sexy. I almost ended my month of celibacy to experience them together. That was, oh man, that's like straight out of a Zane book. I feel like this was pure erotica, y'all. Like that, that's crazy. That's lit. I think I talked about this on one of my call-in episodes with a listener, and we talked about MFM threesomes. Was it? It was definitely a listener. I don't remember if it was a guy listener or a girl listener though. So I'm not intentionally labeling them as one or the other. I genuinely do not remember. But we talked about MFM threesomes. I really think it was a woman though. And I said that the closest I feel like I would go for MFM because I guess there is some curiosity there because I have had what I now know is a FMF where the two women are not necessarily interacting, but they're both having sex with the man. That's a FMF. And then I have had like a FFM, which is where the two women are sexually involved with each other. Like everybody is kind of like sexually involved with each other. So I've had two types of threesomes. And me being a sex coach and me knowing that there are 4 types of threesomes, of course, I'm like, oh, okay, how would this work? How would that work? I don't see myself ever having a MMF. I don't know if I would ever get to a point of having a MFM, but I did say on a previous episode that the closest to it might be my damn great value brand of a fucking MFM. But I said having a girl be strapped and her fuck me while I suck my nigga dick or something like that. Like maybe that's the closest I get to it. But I love when people are liberated in their sexual experiences, and because they're, first of all, you don't have a lot of people that would even be open to the different types of threesomes. They have their one idea of what a threesome is, and everything else is a train as far as they're concerned, right? Those are the limiting beliefs that we oftentimes have to deal with, versus the liberating beliefs where it's like, all right, if who is this about? Because other people's opinions of my decisions don't necessarily change what I want or what I desire, and it damn sure ain't gonna change my outcome. Like only what I do and what I can control my outcome, right? So on the flip side, you have these liberating thoughts as like the people that were just in today's whole fashions story. Like everybody involved is making liberated choices and having liberated thoughts, which is super dope, super cool. And I'm excited to learn more. Like I'm excited for this because obviously this person is a listener of the show. Shout out to her. But I'm so curious to know how you navigate that. And I'm pretty sure if you're willing to share, my audience will be curious about how you navigated that. I feel like I have yet to have a woman on the show that has had a MFM. So, or even if they have, like, that wasn't just the question. Like, obviously, I didn't ask that question, so I wouldn't know. But now I'm curious, right? I'm gonna have to start like asking that question to certain people that I think like might be into that or something like that. I don't know. But like I said, if you are willing to share, I would love to have you on the show to talk about it. So, kind of the updates with me, right? If you guys have been watching the Never Ever Met, tomorrow, by this time this episode would have aired, and the season finale would have aired as well. So I'm filming this on June 20th. Tomorrow is June 21st, and it is the season finale of the Never Ever Met. It is available on OWN, HBO Max. You guys can stream it at your leisure. I hope you don't hate me after watching the TV show, but I think that anybody that listens to Prhoevocative, y'all gonna be like, but Jody just is like that. Like Jody might be super happy one moment and then super like angry or sad. Like Jody is, Jody. Jody makes crazy faces. Y'all gonna see funny faces. Y'all gonna hear me say wild shit. I'm not even as wild. I'm not that wild. Y'all not even gonna really hear me say some wild shit, to be honest. Or at least I didn't perceive it to be that way. So yeah, the Never Ever Mets, go watch it. And I am opening up, well, not even opening, I'm performing, right? So I'm performing at Zanny's on June 30th with Shameless Sex Podcast. So if you're in the Chicagoland area, or if you are coming to the Chicagoland area, you can come see me live, being theatrical and performative as normal. And I'm really looking forward to that. I actually shot an episode with Amy and April, the lovely ladies over at Shameless Sex Podcast. And we had an amazing conversation. We talked about eating pussy. We talked about sucking dick. We talked about just like how to kind of get over those limiting beliefs, or, in how to get to a liberating belief. So I came up with that bar yesterday on their episode. So I was like, oh, that was a bar. I got to keep saying that. Like, are your thoughts limiting beliefs or liberating beliefs? Like limiting versus liberated. Like that was a bar. So I'm going to be performing at that show, and then actually the 2 days before that show, so this will be coming out in a couple days, but the 2 days before that show, I will be in Miami at Exotica. I am teaching at Exotica. I will be there on that Friday and that Saturday, and then I'm rushing home Sunday morning because we have the show in Chicago with Shameless Sex Podcast. So if you will be at Exotica Miami on either of those days, hit me up. If you're in Chicago on June 30th, make sure you come to the show. Come say hi. Come say, I love you, Jody. I love attention. So I told you, I have a praise kink, y'all, real bad. So when people, it's, oh my God. So it was just Father's Day a couple days ago, right? So I went out west. And kicked it with my homies out west because I ain't really saw them in a minute. And I goes out west. And so it was a guy that was like, hey, Jody. And the way he said it, I was like, oh, hey. But then I thought about it. I was like, why you say it like that? He said something along the lines of like, yeah, you be wilding or something like that. And I was like, what you talking about? So then my homeboy that I was kind of like out there to see, he was like, go ahead, tell her where you know him. Or he was like, go ahead, tell her where you know her from. She liked that shit. She liked when people recognize her. I was laughing so fucking hard because I do. I love when a motherfucker toot my horn, like real bad. Like it literally feeds my praise kink energy. Like I don't just have to be having sex for me to want people to like stroke my ego and praise me. Like I like that shit so fucking bad. And I'm laughing because I really like when people recognize me from somewhere. Like, here's the thing. Sometimes I be recognizing people because I'm good with remembering faces, not always names, but faces for sure. So when a motherfucker be like, oh, I follow you on Instagram, or oh, you Jody, you got the podcast. I listen to your podcast. Like when I'm just out in public at bars and stuff like that. Man, y'all, people was doing this way before the TV show launched, right? Because I've been doing provocative for 3 years. So even it's to the point where even when I go to different cities, I'll run into people and they like, wait, I saw you somewhere. Are you Jody? Like, do you have a podcast? So people have been doing this like just more and more and more, especially as the show continues to grow. The downloads are increasing. So shout out to y'all because y'all fuck with the content. Y'all share the content with like y'all people, and then they start liking the content and the show is growing. So I'm happy you guys are here. Super appreciative that you guys are here. And we're growing this shit together. So before I continue that part, make sure y'all sending me y'all stories. I like to hear from y'all. I like to hear y'all stories. Provocative is not just about me. It's about all of us. Everybody that's listening. Everybody that wants to have liberating thoughts over limiting thoughts. Everyone that wants to embrace their sexual desires and just kind of feed that sexual energy. This is for all of us. Like the energy that I hope to cultivate in our community is that of encouragement and inspiration to really lean into that sexual energy that you might be repressing, right? So, yeah, I got a lot of shit coming up. I got a lot of shit going on. I got more shit to come. Take that how you will. Take that how you will. I am the resident sex expert on T's University, so make sure y'all are going over to the app, looking at the classes, or subscribing to the Patreon because you get all of those sex classes for free. Once a month, I upload something to Patreon, so make sure y'all are doing that. And what else? That's it for now. It's crazy because like I had so many different directions with where I was gonna go with this episode today, but I got high. Y'all remember that song that was like I was gonna clean my room, but then I got high. Like I didn't really want to do this episode because I got high. But we got through this episode together. So, again, thank y'all for fucking with me. Continue to please rate the show. That is how people find me. Share it with people that you know might be interested in listening. Share your favorite episode. That is how people find me as well. And yeah, still accepting sex coaching clients as well as always. So make sure y'all are hitting me up on Instagram or DMing me or sending me an email. And let's set up those sex coaching calls. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all. Until next time, I am out. How long was this?